Hey you guys, today we are going to be doing a touch-up on this client. We're going to be going over ways to retain your length in this style, as well ways to take your hairstyle down, that way it is not such a hassle. So if you have issues with that, or if you want to know how to do a proper takedown, watch each chapter. So right now we're going through and we're cutting all the tips off of her twists. Now, when you want to cut your twist, you want to make sure that you are looking for their hair before you cut the twist. So here you can see the little balls on where her hair kind of curls up, and you can see that the difference from the other hair towards the tip, and the twist is a lot thicker. This is what I'm using to be able to put on her hair after I've cut all of the twists. This softens the hair. So normally back here in the nape, it'd be hard. We want to go through and we want to soften it and put that on there first. Then it's going to be able to rub off. You'll be able to separate the hair and make it so that way you have less breakage. This is something that I see that is missed on a lot of videos that I see. A lot of people take the hair down dry, and I always tell my clients, never take your hair down dry. I don't care if you're doing a touch-up or if you're taking the entire style down. And this is why. We were able to save all of her back nape. None of the areas that would have typically where it's a harder buildup, we were able to break it all loose just by pulling the hair apart from each other. All you do is separate before you grab any combs, any brushes, anything. Soften the hair first before you get ready to detangle it. Now, that's important because our hair has been sitting in a style for so long that now the sediment, the debris, the buildup, all of that's on there, it gets hard. So that's what we want to do before we do any takedown. Also, we want to go through and detangle each section before we move on to another one. That's another thing that I see that's missed on a lot of times when people are taking down their styles. When people explain them to me on how they're doing it, they will take down the entire head and then go through and detangle. You do not want to do that. You want to do section by section. Just get you a couple twists, get you a couple braids, take about those 3 to 5. Once you've taken those down, you've broke up the debris, detangle each section. After you're done, then go through and twist it up. So as you guys are seeing me do it in here, I haven't went and untwist anything else yet. I'm still working on this one section. That is going to make it where, one, you're going to have less breakage because you're actually able to give time to the area that's needed. You're also separating and detangling while the hair is wet. So that's another key point in that mix that I had made. That one has majority water and about 2 pumps of conditioner. So I fill the bottle up, do a couple pumps of conditioner, shake it up to the point where it's like super watery, and then go ahead and do it. You want to do a conditioner that has a really good slip to it. That's going to be the best bet. So that way, as you are detangling, it's sliding through. It's not a whole lot of trouble, and you can get this done quickly. And that's it. I'm going to go through and do all of the other ones, and you guys can see me do the process here. And if you guys have any questions about this or anything that you feel that you need more clarification on, leave it in the comments below. If you guys want some references on certain types of conditioners, shampoos, and things like that, there's also a product list as well in the description too. Okay, so now we have washed and set under the dryer. I am pulling her middle twist up so that way I can get ready to start doing her touch up. So when you guys get ready to wash your clients, as you saw before, we had put them in twists going around the perimeter. I took her to the bowl. We took down her twist that was on the outside. We washed it really, really good. And then we detangled. Then I put her clips and her twist in, and I set her under the hooded dryer. So when you guys do the hooded dryer way, it's better to make sure that the roots are still clipped so that way it comes out clean. If you guys haven't seen me do that, I will make sure I link that video so that way you guys can see it. Now, when I do the hooded dryer method, I typically don't let my clients dry all the way out when they are getting a twist style, because I want to keep as much moisture to their hair so that way while I'm applying the oils and the creams and stuff to their hair before I twist it, it's able to lock in that hydration that we have left on the strands. So what you see me doing now is basically stretching her hair a little bit more, because with the kinkier hair textures like the 4C girlies, when you guys are doing spring twist, a lot of people want to do a bone straight blowout and stuff like that because they don't want to see the two differences on the twist by where their hair is at and where the hair is not at. And you can see that a lot more on their type of hair textures because their hair is very thick. So I like to elongate it as much as possible on a cooler air so that way I can have it stretched when I'm doing my twist. So that way as her hair thins out towards the tip, it's also able to do that inside of her 2-strand twist too. So when you guys are getting ready to do your touch-ups and you are parting things off, always do a part off all the way for the entire head before you start doing any twists for your touch-up. And you want to do it that way because they had a certain layout, a grid on their head when you did the first install. So you want to make sure that that grid lines back up as close as possible before you get ready to start doing the other twists, because if you move further up the head, then you're going to see like, okay, there's not enough hair for a twist or something by the time you get to the top, or vice versa. So you want to make sure that you are pre-sectioning all of your twists so that way as you go through and get ready to do them, you can fly through the style for one, and you already know how many twists that you're about to be doing and that they all fit to the style how they're supposed to. That's one of the key things to having a touch-up that doesn't look real bogus to me. I don't like seeing when people will do a touch-up and then you can see that the parts are off, even if that person is like wearing like in a ponytail, or if they're wearing it down, like the parts would be all off. I'm a stylist, so I pay attention to those type of things. Everybody don't, but I don't like it. I need it to look just as if they had the hairstyle redone, so I try to make sure all their parts line up. This is also important to do so that way you can prevent traction alopecia. When I first got this client, she has it on her front edges, and if they would have upsized or known how much spacing they had to give for her front perimeter, it would have been able to save her from that. So the way you do it is when you going through doing your sectioning for that front row, you want to give it about a half upsize compared to the rest of your hairstyle. This is going to make sure that they are able to have enough structure to their front without pulling anything back. So since we've already done that, now we're about to go through and do her twists. Now that we're all done, I like to go through and hydrate the scalp, and then I go through and oil their scalp as well. When you guys have this style and you want to make sure that you are keeping your scalp hydrated, you just want to do a simple hydration mist on a regular basis. I typically do mine daily, and it's one of the same things I recommend for my clients. An added bonus with spring twist is that you can actually hydrate the shaft of your hair as well. So just spray your mist down the shaft of your spring twist so that way your strands can be hydrated too. So if you've ever experienced having really dry hair after braids, that is what you want to do with your 2-strand twist.